Oh, I pity the fool who don't use FoolControl. What's going on? I'm Anthony Serratelli, and welcome to another episode of my Road to Red series, where I'll be documenting my experience owning a Red cinema camera. Today I want to talk about an app called FoolControl. It controls your Red camera through your mobile device. It's freaking awesome. Let's get right into it. So as soon as you open the app, these are the controls you get. So on the top right, you have your record and stop button. Simply record, simply stop. Next here, you have your settings for what size image you want to use. 4K, 4.5K wide, 4K widescreen, all the way down to 2K HD. Under that, you have your frame rate, and selecting it lets you switch the frame rate you decide to use. Next on the list is your shutter speed, which I don't know why it's at 1/24th. Let's put it at 1/48th. Here you have your HDR settings, which I don't have any HDR going on right now, so we can just leave that as is. Your f-stop is completely controllable if the lens allows it. If it's a cinema lens, you're gonna need to control that with the lens ring itself. Here we have your record options. I have it set to Apple ProRes 2K so that if I record the screen for any of this YouTube stuff, I don't need the R3D files. And it gives you all your other settings too that we had above. And below also some of the calibration settings, your SD card media settings, which you can go in and take a look at. The name of your clip is down here as well. And we'll go back to the main screen. This here tells you your focal length and distance. You have your color temperature settings. We'll keep at 5600. ISO, explanatory. The T and E are the camera's calibrations. When they're green, that means everything is good. If they're not green, whether they're yellow or red, you might need to recalibrate or re-black shade your camera. The tools brings up all your edge, focus, and false color settings. Here's your 1:1 magnifier. Your raw view, if you'd like to see what you're shooting in raw, toggles that on and off as you can see above. Here you can click on your card and your battery to switch from percentage to time, whichever you prefer. Your temperature and fan readings. Here's your slate, where you can set everything up for your slate. Here's your clip name and everything. You got your audio settings as well. And then we get into these bottom settings, which get really interesting. The record settings, again, we saw earlier, so that's just another way to get to this screen. The slate leaves everything open to you, so you can put more metadata into your file so you know everything that's going on set with that shot. Your look lets you play with everything. Let's, for example, play with saturation. If I wanted to bump this saturation all the way up, you can see in the shot, it changes. Let's reset that. You can change your looks, your temperatures, ISOs, everything in here, even what gamma and color space you'd like to shoot in. The linear focus button allows you to pull focus with an up and down slider. And it's pretty cool, it works very responsively. As you can see, it's responding to my touch very well. The keys allow you to control the menu settings, as you can see up top. I'm scrolling through all the settings on the screen. Just as if you had the sidekick handle, this works pretty much the same. Curves, pretty explanatory. You can play with your curves straight up. LGG is your lift, gamma, and gain. Again, you can play with these all around and it changes everything. But when you're shooting in RAW, a lot of this, again, is metadata anyways, and you can change all this afterwards. Presets, I think, have to do with your monitor LUTs, but with the Red Raven, there are no monitor LUTs, so that's not necessary on this app. So the last button here is the focus wheel, which again is very responsive to your touch and very cool. It lets you set a rack focus timing, and then you set all of your in and out points, or your A and B points, whatever you want to call them. Say I want to rack focus to the front lens, hit the button here, racks right to it. Maybe I want to go to the other lens, racks right to it. Out of focus to the lens, to the front lens, and back to the second lens. Very, very cool. If you have your camera on a gimbal or something, this gives you a focus mechanism. The only thing is you obviously need a Teradek to send your signal, so you have a monitor to see what you're doing. Or you set it up prior, and as long as the camera operator hits his marks, you hit your marks, it should work. But that's the gist of this app, which is really, really cool. So here's the app, and the price, as you see, is somewhat hefty at $170. There is a record and playback only version that's $4.99. And then a very cool offering for Raven owners is a free, I already have it so you can't tell here, but it is free. The FoolControl Raven camera kit is free for Raven owners. Very cool if you have an quote unquote entry-level Raven that you can use this app. If you're spending $25,000, $45,000, $65,000 on the bigger, higher, better models of Red, honestly, $170 is not going to kill you. And Michael Lubchansky, I hope I'm saying his name right, created such a freaking awesome app. He really deserves it. Please go buy it if you need it and support Michael. So that's it for Red's Wi-Fi and the FoolControl app. If you have a Red camera and need wireless control, I highly recommend this app. Go get it. And if you like this episode, please click the like button and subscribe and click the little bell to get alerts to all future episodes. If you have any comments or questions, of course, leave them below or contact me on my social medias at Jersey Filmmaker. Thanks for watching this week's Road to Red series, and I'll see you next time.